Cuckoo, my love. Cuckoo, love girl.
Nearly half of us will need a lawyer this year. Find the right one for you on Avo. Avo, legal, easier.
Do you know what your coffee creamer is made of? Natural Bliss is made with only a few natural ingredients you can pronounce. Milk, cream, pure cane sugar, and natural flavors, with no added growth hormone. Natural Bliss. Natural ingredients and nothing else. Nestle. Good food, good life.
This is how banks saw me, ever since I had a pretty bad accident. The medical bills all piled up, so I signed up for Experian. They helped educate me on how debt affected my FICO score. Now my credit and I are both healing nicely.
Go to Experian.com and start your credit tracker trial membership today.
At Burger King, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. Wait, the 10 nuggets deal is back again?
$1.49 for 10 nuggets.
Sweet! They're crispy and golden on the outside, made with white meat on the inside. Enjoy 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49 today. Only at Burger King.
What truck company do you think offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, best-in-class V8 horsepower, and best-in-class V8 towing?
None of them.
I'm going with Ram. Definitely Ford. The new 2016 Chevy Silverado offers best-in-class V8 fuel economy, horsepower, and towing. They're all Chevy.
That's right. All Chevy, the fastest growing pickup brand. Now during Truck Month, get this Silverado All-Star 5.3 liter with a total value of $7,500. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
As we journey deep into India's past, we have uncovered perhaps the most twisted weapon of all. In the early 3rd century BC, a young commander called Chandragupta rid India of foreign invaders. He became India's first emperor at the tender age of 20, establishing the largest kingdom ever to rule over the region, the Mauryan Empire.
The Mauryan Empire included a vast geographical area. It consisted of most of the states of current India and some of Pakistan as well.
But once he had freed India, he installed his own reign of terror that was far worse than that of the foreign invaders. Chandragupta's rule was guided by a military and political treatise called the Arthasastra. It is a Machiavellian masterpiece containing countless methods of murdering your enemy. Ancient Discoveries has tracked down one of the few remaining copies, hidden in a manuscripts library in southern India. No television crew outside of India has ever been allowed access to this treasure trove of forgotten texts. It holds one of the oldest copies of the Arthasastra in the world, transcribed from the original over 600 years ago. Within the pages of this ancient text, there is one paragraph in particular that highlights its brutality.
Or he should make him drop down by the release of a pin into a well with spikes, or a pit underneath the bed or seat where the floor is fixed by a mechanism.
The bed booby trap has been described in the Arthasastra. The trap was made by making a hole under the bed or sofa of an enemy. The hole is filled with spikes operated by a mechanical device. The enemy was made to fall suddenly and was killed. This trap was adopted to kill powerful enemies with ease.
One problem with investigating this booby trap is that it was a stealth weapon.
The details of the bed booby trap were always kept a secret.
Because of this secrecy, there are no accounts that tell us when Chandragupta actually used this device. With the sparse information available to him, Richard Winton is investigating this ancient instrument of terror. He has come to our testing center in order to build a full-size model of it. But first, he must build a smaller prototype to help him understand how the trapdoor mechanism functions.
This is my little model of the
Chandragupta booby trap bed. It's a very, very simple little model. The account that we've got is fleeting. There's only a mention of this device, so we're working by supposition, really. We've got basically a kind of trapdoor, which is probably something similar to a staged trapdoor mechanism, a long cord which will trigger it. The top represents the floor of the room. This would probably have been furnished quite opulently, and there may have been rugs and textiles covering the floor, which would help to hide the trapdoor. But it could also be arranged, like I've done it here, so that the gaps align with the floorboard, so it wouldn't be too obvious. So the bed is attached to the trapdoor, it's hinged, and underneath there's a little catch mechanism. The operators of the device then give a really sharp tug on this rope. This releases the catches. The bed drops, the body falls straight onto the spikes below, and they would hit these spikes with great force. This could penetrate the body, it could penetrate the skull, it could penetrate all sorts of internal organs. So the chances are this guy is going to be dead almost instantaneously.
But how would this device have been employed?
I think it's pretty unlikely that this would have been set up in an enemy's house, because you'd need really full access to the property. It would probably take a team of workmen several days at the very least to set up something like this. It'd be very, very difficult to do this surreptitiously. So I think it's more likely that this would actually have been installed in one of Chandragupta's own palaces.
An enemy who had been invited as a guest would settle down to sleep, never to wake up again.
Politically, this might be a kind of expedient way of removing people. Once the trapdoors are in place, the catches are reset. Only someone inside the room would actually know what's going on. So anyone coming in, perhaps in the morning, would just find everything exactly as it was the previous night. But the victim has just disappeared.
Now that he has understood how the booby trap works, Richard has been able to build a full-size replica and is going to test it out for the first time in over 2,000 years.
We've had a full-size replica of the model built. The bed is a normal full-size bed, about 6 feet long, roughly 3 feet wide. We've got the trapdoor installed, and we've got a drop of about 10 feet and some very, very nasty spikes. So what we really need to do now is to actually test this device and just to see how lethal it actually is.
Seeing this weapon as its inventor intended, we can begin to appreciate the gruesome fate that would have awaited anyone who fell victim to it. Richard is placing melons on the bed in order to demonstrate its destructive power.
Well, really, you've only got to take a look at this horrendous mess it is to imagine what this would do to the human body. It seems a pretty remote chance that you could possibly survive this. It could easily impale the skull, the major organs, it could sever major arteries. You can imagine the limbs being impaled on it. It is absolutely horrible. It doesn't really bear thinking about.
The horrific death this weapon inflicted would have been immediately hidden to the world as the trapdoor was pulled shut again. The carnage below the surface would be concealed and the body removed, ready for the next unfortunate enemy of this ancient Indian emperor.
Even in a time that seems to us harsh and barbaric, a device like this seems excessive. This seems to be like the product really of a twisted mind.
From the deserts of Arabia to the battlefields of ancient China, our investigations into the ancient East reveal a history of twisted and macabre weapons. As explorations into these forgotten corners of the world continue, what other twisted tools of terror lie waiting to be discovered?
2,500 years ago, the Ark of the Covenant, perhaps the holiest object on the face of the earth, disappeared without a trace. Over the centuries, its loss has inspired 1,000 quests. None has succeeded. My name is Tudor Parfitt. 20 years ago, I helped prove that a black African people were a lost tribe of Israelite descent. What I discovered then set me off on my own quest for the Ark. What I found was in the most unlikely place, and it doesn't look like the fabulous golden Ark of popular myth or Hollywood. But I'm sure that it's the Ark of the Bible, the Ark of an Israelite tribe born in the wilderness, the Ark of Moses. Now I'm retracing my journey in an attempt to prove that I've solved one of the great mysteries of all time. What happened to the Ark of the Covenant, and where is it now? This is my quest. As the Bible tells it, the story of the Ark of the Covenant began here, 3,500 years ago, in the mountains of the Sinai Desert. This hard, pitiless place is called by the Arabs Jabal Musa. The Jews call it Har Sinai, the mountain of Sinai. And according to the Bible, it was somewhere in the Sinai that Moses received from God the Ten Commandments. He was commanded to take them down towards the plain. And when he got down there, he was given instructions as to how to build some kind of a container into which to put the tablets of the law. And that object was the Ark of the Covenant. For the ancient Hebrews, the Ark was the most holy object on earth, the manifestation of God's physical presence in their midst. According to the Bible, it led the Jews out of the desert into the land of Canaan by miraculously splitting the waters of the river Jordan.